Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Bit Tactical, where today I'm going to be covering the Scout Squad versus the Screaming Benches of the Blades of Khaine. That's right, I'm going up against somebody who did a full-on, all Banshees, come in and kill me play, which was very interesting and very scary. But this is going to be an after-action report because I'm an idiot. I didn't take these pictures. He actually took these pictures. So, yes, this is on a new map with the new approved ops. It's not a battle report, but I do want to give a little bit of experience, I guess, of the games that I've been playing and how I've been playing the Scout Squad a little bit for the guide. So, number one, we were playing on the legendary orb, okay, the new crit op, and for my tac op, I was doing scout enemy movement because, it's scout enemy movement. Oh no, I figured I had to try that first, see how it was, especially since the other ones kind of seemed like they would just be good. So I needed to try the things that didn't seem like they would be as good. So I am going to be showing these pictures a little bit, but for the most part, I'm going to be showing this map right here. This was the map that I was playing on. I'm going to use this to reference stuff from when we were. It's not like it's going to be too detailed, but this is just, so you guys can see something. Treat it as a podcast a little bit if you want to, because I will just be yapping about the scouts and the way I play them. All right, first things first, since this is the new ops, and you don't have that much equipment, I was a little bit more like, ooh, what am I going to do here, okay? So if you see on my home objective over here, I didn't have really good cover to get to it. So I actually got a heavy barricade so I could put somebody right next to it, so I could tap it if I needed to. For those of you who don't know how orb works, the way you actually score here is you have to control the markers, right? You don't actually have to do anything to control them. However, if the orb is on them, you have to then spend an APL to move it somewhere else, because if the orb is on them, you cannot score VP, which is a really interesting thing. It's kind of funny, and I really like it. But it's got you can do some interesting things with it for sure. So, as you can see, I also have the third vantage terrain, whatever, the big stronghold, right? So here was my plan, right? Basically, coop up in the stronghold, make it a really hard place to come in and try to kill me in, and then, with a warrior, go up to the home objective, or to the middle objective, move the orb to my home objective, and then as my last activation, because I out-activate the Blades of Khaine, I was going to push the home objective all the way, or the orb to my home objective to his home objective, so he can't score on it, and then I get 2 VP from the crit op, and then I'm hopefully at some point I scout somebody and I get 2 VP from that, and then get to a good start here, right? And then hopefully get some killing in as well. So 30.1, we're just moving up, as you can see from some of these pictures. Again, we're just moving up. I'm in the stronghold, heavy in, and I'm on the left side, kind of undefended, but because of the way I set my Seek token up, he kind of doesn't want to move up too aggressively here until his last activations, which I totally understand. And I'm being really cagey. He's kind of forced to be cagey because of my Seek token that I placed down, which I placed down right here, and also my mine, which I placed down right here. So he couldn't have easy access. He kind of has to go around, which is really interesting for me, right? However, he did make a big mistake here. After all my guys have gone, like my gunners, my sniper, what he did is he brought up his leader and another Banshee into this ruin over here, which has light terrain. Then we go on to the next turning point. I win initiative, and the first thing I do is I shoot them with my missile launcher and blast. Now, I didn't notice this because I've also made the mistake of forgetting that Ruins has light terrain on top. I always make that mistake. I'm pretty sure I lost my Scout Hunter no less than 3 times because I forgot that the light terrain, or that the top of the Ruins is light terrain. So I got a really lucky shot. It was a blast shot right into his leader, which I killed, and then to his other dude, which I did not kill. However, he did have to use a CP for, I think it was Cement Fate or something. Basically, I couldn't reroll, which sucked, but It worked out well for me, pretty well. Now, here's where I personally think I kind of made a little bit of a mistake. I used Blade Ambush and I used Gunfire Ambush, right? For Gunfire Ambush was not a mistake. Blade Ambush, I think, was a little bit. I should have noticed that he wasn't really too close to me, other than the people on the right, which even then they weren't really, and they were going to be charging me. And Blade Ambush was not for retaliating, so I would have to charge, and I wasn't really charging that much. But the Turning Point 2 starts and it gets super deadly. Look, here's the picture here. So I killed his leader, right? He then goes, and I dropped down my scout missile launcher down to block his Banshee from potentially double charging into my what's his name? Into my sniper. That's what it was. So I just wanted to block him there, and he comes over. So then, of course, he jumps over from his ruin into my stronghold, charges the tracker, does one thing of damage against him, falls back with his thing that the Banshees do, and then but he shoots my missile launcher, and he doesn't do too much damage to him. He only brings him down to 6, but he did bring my tracker down to 4, which was unfortunate. I then, of course, bring my warrior up to the middle objective marker, move the orb to my home objective. That's going to plan. And I then scout my first person so that, like, I'm telling him, hey, this guy's visible to me at the end of the turning point and score a VP, which was nice. He then, from the right side, brings up somebody to the hatchway, and hatchway fights with me. I do a decent amount of chip damage on the way out, and then he just stuck there. I do believe that he tries to take a shooting attack here, but he can't get it. But essentially, my warrior is now dead. That was at the door, and I had him there blocking the door on purpose so that if somebody did come, I figured he was going to try to charge here, and I wanted someone to like kind of stall him there and just keep him right there outside the door so I could shoot down at him. I go with my tracker. I mark and kill, or not mark and kill. Sorry, I give Seek Light on one of his Banshees that I'm within 8 inches of, and then somebody who I can see, I make sure that I have visibility on them. He then charges down from his stronghold into the middle objective and kills my warrior there, and then throws that, or not throws it, I guess, the streak that kills, and actually kills my missile launcher, which was insane, and then brings down my sniper down to 2, which was just, I couldn't believe it. At this point, then with my sniper, I go for the double kill, right? So I shoot down at the guy. Like, I can see him because his arm is like way out here. So I can see his arm, and I shoot down at him and I kill him, right? And then with the bolt pistol, and I do switch from conceal to engage in order to do this, so I can get the rerolls basically. I then shoot the guy who was on my turf, right? I shoot him. Actually, sorry, I think I did this in reverse. I shot one with the bolt pistol. I shot the other with the sniper rifle, and I killed them both. So those 2 guys were dead, and now the doorway is basically clear for me. He brings up another. He brings up one of his Banshees, right, and he devastates me here. So I believe he takes a shot up at, I want to say it was somebody. Oh, no, I don't think he actually could get a shot. But what he could get was he goes up, and my guy who's on my home objective behind the heavy barricade, he's able to get a shot at him, right? Because I placed him in a way so I could score the objective, which means I didn't have good cover from the right side, which means he was able to basically bypass my cover lines, get that flank, and just get the straight up kill on this guy. And I was like, oh no, my orb, now I have to move my hunter over there, which my hunter was supposed to be my counter. And now, like, here I am in this stupid position because I placed my models incorrectly, right? So I go with my heavy bolter, shoot down at him, kill him easily. Heavy bolter is just, I love the heavy bolter. I think he's just amazing. But, obviously I'm doing a lot of killing, and as I'm doing a lot of killing, I'm like, At this point, I think I also, with his remaining APL, I do another scout enemy because I think he had one more, maybe, at this point. Like I said, this isn't going to be too detailed, okay? But, dang, I was like, oh, shoot, I'm killing everybody here, right? This is like a super aggressive turning point. I'm getting killed. He's killing people. I'm killing a lot of people. I want to say by the end of the turning point, he had like 3 or 4 models left. And they were on the left side of this board. And that's because after I got the double kill with the sniper, what I did is my sergeant that was at the door, after I did the heavy bolter, the guy on the home objective, he just moved him up to the door on the ruin, just to stage for next turning point. And then I, with my sergeant, got up to that door, hatchway fought, killed him, right? So I did get a little bit use out of blade ambush, but if I remember correctly, I didn't get too much use out of it. Because it was kind of an easy fight. I was down to like 5 wounds or something, but still, movement for my sergeant at this point really wasn't anything crazy or that I really needed, because everybody on the right side was dead essentially, and he only had people on the left side, which I do believe was 3 models actually. So by the end of turning point 2, I've killed more than half his team, and going into turning point 3, I'm in a pretty good position. I have like 5 models left. I think almost all of them were wounded. like even that's how like powerful that team was, dude. As soon as like I killed his leader and I killed like 2 other guys, I was like, okay, I'm feeling pretty safe about this game. And then he just started coming in and just killing people and just murdering them, right? My warriors were dead. My missile launcher was dead. Tracker wounded. Sniper wounded. Sergeant wounded. Hunter hadn't gone yet. But I took a shot at somebody. I think he moved somebody up to the middle objective. He moved somebody up to the middle objective to shoot my sniper. So I moved my hunter a little bit so I could get a pistol shot. I did a bit of chip damage, and I was able to maintain visibility on 2 of my guys. So I did get the tac op, but I didn't get anything on the crit op. He got 1 on the crit op, and he had route for his tac op, so he got 2 on the tac op because he killed at least 2 of my guys within 6 inches. Then turning point 3, not going to say that the game necessarily played itself out. There were still some chances that things could have gone well, but with like the initiative cards and stuff, I basically kind of had like initiative in the bag, and I won initiative again. I believe I did. I'm not sure, but I do know the actions that had occurred in turning point 3, which was basically the guy he had in the center did die. He brought somebody else up to kill my hunter and charge him, and then that guy died. He was left with 1 model, which he kept safe. And then I just started scoring on the crit op. I believe because of how injured my guys were and the 2 shooting attacks that I had to take, I actually couldn't get my tracker up to the middle objective marker because he was injured, and I had to use a firefight ploy in order to stop being injured with some of the other guys that I was shooting with. So because of that, my sergeant just moves up to his crit op or his home objective and just starts scoring on that. And I give, I think, an extra APL to the tracker. So after this, right? I mean, now it's for sure. Like, yeah, I'm probably going to win. He's wiped off the board. My primary op was the kill op because I didn't know if the tac op was going to go well. So he comes up, tries to get 1 more for route by taking a shot at my tracker. But I think he whiffs that shot. He whiffs that shot because my tracker was survived. Did he survive? I'm trying to think. I'm so sorry if I'm misremembering. I think my tracker did survive. Or maybe not. No, I don't think he did. I think he was dead. Because it kind of didn't matter at that point. But basically now I actually repositioned with my heavy bolter to get onto the objective. I also dashed, I believe so, because I gave him a 30 APL with my sergeant, and then I took a shot against him. Oh wait, I remember what happened. This was insane. So with my tracker, right, I took 2 shots with him. I took 2 shots with him with my bolter against this Banshee, which shaves on 4, and he had like 3 CP at this point because he wasn't using CP as much. So he was doing the demented thing, so I couldn't re-roll and do all that. But still, 8 wounds. By the end of it, he had 1 wound. But I was still like, what? No way. This guy's alive. And that's when I repositioned with my heavy bolter, shot him, killed him, tabled him, turning point 4. Rest of the board was mine, but 2 things here that you may have noticed. Scout enemy, I did not score beyond the striking turning point because I was too busy killing people. Okay, so that's kind of a big downfall there, is that you have to keep them alive in order to actually do that. And with the Banshees especially, like, they're dangerous. I don't want to keep them alive. I don't want anyone in my back line just messing with me, or even near me, like within 9 inches of me, to mess with me. So I just want to kill them. But I did winning. I think it was 14-10. That's how it ended up being. But still, a few things here. Number one, I still stand by my assessment that if you get the stronghold with the top ruin, or not the top ruin, like the 3 stories, I think you should, or a second story, I guess it would be. You should absolutely get that. It's always good putting a missile launcher up there. You can have the reposition to guarantee it in the first turning point from your forward ops. And that's what I did. Like, yeah, and with the seek tokens and with the mine or the booby trap that you get, you can cut off places and make it really hard for your opponent to go there. Like, he wasn't going to go through that mine, right? It's not like the mine was going to kill him or anything, but it would interrupt his action. It would interrupt a charge and just keep him placed down right there, right? And he would have to switch from engage in order to do it, and it would happen as soon as he entered. So, like, he had to basically go around, which is why I think he went up onto that ruins and made that. It was a mistake on his part, but I think that's probably wise, because he couldn't just go straight through the center of the map. So 100%. Okay, listen, this was a team that in melee was obviously going to pounce on me, right? Which is why I brought all the warriors with the knives, because I wanted to put them on the front line or in places where they would get killed, so that I could do a lot of chip damage on the way out, right? Hopefully get 5 damage in, but definitely 4. And then as they kill me, they're being brought down because they only have like 8 wounds, right? But yeah, again, I mean, to be honest with you guys, this is how my games with the scouts go. Now, depending on the rules, okay, depending on the rolls of the reroll, or how good my opponent, or really, it's kind of like, if my opponent makes a mistake, I can capitalize it really well because I'm being defensive. But if they don't and they're playing well, then it's a toss-up. And I need to work on that personally. I do need to work on it. I need to be able to be more aggressive when I see the need for it. But being really defensive can work really, really well. Being reactive to them, forcing them to come out, putting them into bad positions by sacrificing a warrior. But like, and when I say sacrificing, that's in quotes. You want to make sure your warrior does something before he dies, whether it's even throwing out a stun grenade or a smoke grenade, whatever the case may be, scoring the crit op, doing attack op, whatever it is that he can do, make sure he does it. And then if he dies, hopefully by being charged, so that you have a free shooting attack. That's kind of how I like using the warriors. They're always dying. I don't think I've had a single game where a warrior survived until the end of the match. I think they all die. Alright everyone, that's the end of this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And something else. Comment, maybe? I'm not sure. But anyways, Scout Guide will be back on track. Should be next week. I know I had a video to come out this week, but next week another video should come out. Alright, I'll see you guys later.